welcome to episode 536. I don't fucking know. 36
Should
this week in the league,
shit,
mate.
man.
And I'm
Say
Joe.
36.
536.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's what I'm
Glenn,
saying.
and I'm sick of Nate's attitude.
I'm going with it. My attitude is fucking beyond
Atrocious
reproach.
at all
Impeccable,
times.
they say.
Well,
Immaculate.
every listener has just sat forward in their chair after hearing the mood Glenn is in.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
As I said to him off air not 5 minutes ago, this is the way you act when you fucking play a Barry and lose a touch C grade Toowoomba grand final. Imagine what a cunt he'd be if he'd actually won, strutting around like a little fucking rooster. Well, not like a rooster because I mean, the Roosters being a club up there, but he would be strutting around like one of them, pissing all over the place. So,
God. Pissing in the wind.
Little.
Do you know what else
inside
blows
a
in the
Toowoomba
wind?
C grade touch football humour there?
It's
For
like
the fans.
It's like a
They are our
super.
biggest demographic now.
It's like a super deep cut for one guy.
Hey, you wouldn't believe the exponential growth of this show based on just the Toowoomba touch aficionados. And I know what you're thinking, touch aficionados. I mean, that's like rugby union fans, surely. But no, I was there. I saw the attendance for C grade. They fucking turn out. They love the touch footy up there in
Fucking hope they
Toowoomba.
do.
Fucking
I
don't
love
know
it.
what.
Yeah, they made lynchings illegal and stuff. They had to find an outlet, and C appears to be touch football.
Wow. And that was, look, it was a short-lived run for the people of Toowoomba listening to this show, but really appreciate your time, and you guys obviously are now seeing yourselves out. I really appreciate it.
You know, it had a lot.
They know.
They know. It's accepted.
It had a
It's
lot to
unspoken.
do with the very first marketing officer that the Toowoomba Touch Association had way back in fucking 1825, when instead of calling it touch footy, he called it Blackie Bash, and the line to sign up was out the fucking door. No one realised it was just because you had to wear black armbands and be tagged on them. It was OzTag before OzTag.
Wow. And
It's on the website.
Anyone
You should read
that
it
was still
sometime.
left is now gone. And thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Look, frankly, we have to fill time because there were only 4 games last weekend. There's
I
only
will
2 games
say
coming up this
that
weekend. Just saying.
the boys are still listening, or some of them. Well, one of them at least. Got a message into the C grade group chat saying the latest episode of This Week in League has dropped, and it's on record that the Big Diesel will be coming in hot next year, looking to shed 15 to 20 kgs. C grade,
That's true.
Wait
That is on the
for
record.
it.
It is true.
C grade Lions have found their new middle, and
So
I can't wait to see the transformation from the Big Diesel to the eco-friendly EV.
So 15 to 20 kilos, Glenn. When's the season
Yes.
start?
June.
What? Yeah.
So you got to lose 15 kilos.
That's under a kilo a week. He's easy going to make it.
How are you gonna learn to walk on a prosthetic when you got to chop a leg off in May?
Well, I just figure my head is the right shape. So for me to lose 20 kilo, if I just cut off my head and they just run me around as the ball, run my head around as the ball, it's the right shape.
There you
No one's
go.
got to kick it.
Fuck yeah.
So mission accomplished. I'll still be part of the team.
Yep.
How good.
Nice.
And
What's
I
the
don't have to
equivalent
do
of,
any
like,
exercise.
barley?
It's fucking great.
What's the equivalent of barley for the Toowoomba C grade Lions? Was
Harlot's.
it just a
Where's that
was it just a spicy ginger beer you had after the game, or did you have a thing?
Where's that place that Cops got shot? Wouldn't that be a holiday for Toowoomba people?
Tara? Was it Tara? Is that where
That's
that-
fucking. That's atrocious. That is atrocious. Like, we're trying to hold it. Also, you know what? I couldn't even keep a straight face. I was going to say we're trying to keep a standard here, but we're not. We never have. We never fucking will.
It brings a whole new thing. Like, oh yeah, go and pig shooting in Tara.
Yeah,
Righto.
that's it.
You want to load up the staffies.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now,
And by that
please-
he means children they've abducted from Stafford. To driven up the range.
you're really painting
This is like the
Toowoomba
worst
in a pretty
episode.
ordinary light. This is yeah.
Glenn,
And,
you should never fucking let us in.
Yeah, I said all along I was trying to keep the two worlds apart, and yeah. A big shout out to one of my teammates who is a police officer. This is the sort of shit you guys carry on with,
And normal
and why do you
many
have to
listeners.
offend
Mate, we
my
fucking have nothing but
my
love
esteemed teammates?
for our boys in blue, and as such, don't live in Toowoomba.
I'll tell you though, isn't it funny that the first 5 minutes have just been attack everything, offend everybody about everything, yet we sit here on like what, the 13th of September. Not a single aviation joke to be had.
Zero.
Well, how do we compete with all of the OnlyFans thoughts lowering their price to $7.11 for a month?
$9.11. Yeah.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, there was one of them. Yeah, she just to out of respect for the lives lost on 9/11 for the rest of the month, her OnlyFans will be $9.11.
And put a photo of her with a little toy plane between her
in between her massive
No
tits.
way. Oh,
It's fucking true, Glenn. I'll show you. I can't remember what the Twitter handle was, but I'll show you.
It's lucky we have only Glens to uphold the integrity of such a platform.
Yes,
Mine's still top price.
which would be great because you get to see the transformation in real time as well. And you're tapering for the next season.
Yeah, I feel like I've put myself under a bit of pressure.
That's good though. But you need that to because you like proving people wrong and stuff, and you get a chip like that. So,
mate, you've got.
Where did you get that from, mate?
It's still fucking there. I can see it. There's a video call, mate.
Did you just shout out where did you get that from when he mentioned?
It's got glasses and headphones.
I like proving people wrong. Wow, this is new information, Nathan. Please elaborate.
Oh, fucking hell! Scroll. If you're friends with him on Facebook, just fucking scroll. You'll find fucking endless fucking pictures of lions with words on top of them, attesting to this fucking.
Oh, that was the old me. Now it's photos of myself with the same sort of shit.
Mate, my brother-in-law never run a marathon in his life. Was G'ing up for it. He got one text message of advice from Wars, and now he's fucking Rob D. Costella. You got so many people here that'll do this shit for you.
I also did make a point to my esteemed teammate that made that call that I was going to be playing middle. I said losing weight does not equate to an improvement in skill. So whilst you can put me in the middle, and if I had better cardio and high level of fitness, I could do the movements that a middle player would make, I don't have the skill level to actually succeed. So, we're talking about playing in another grand final and going one better next year. Not with me in the fucking middle, boys. It's not going to happen.
Mate, dare to dream.
Look, if you do achieve the fitness goals that you're setting out to do for next season, at the very least they'll fucking pass you the ball in the grand final when everyone's going up there to see you play. Surely.
I would never be so arrogant to suggest that anyone outside of my family, you and Hammers, was actually there to see me play.
Stop it, mate. We're going to get full in. I'm going to become an accredited fucking referee. Work my way up to the top so I can referee the grand final.
Because we just knew that we needed new and innovative ways.
You only have to
reasons.
work your way halfway up because it's only C grade, so you only have to work it maybe to base camp 6.
Fuck yeah.
But that's exactly what we needed is new ways and reasons for people to dislike you.
I'm going to fucking throw the game in your favour, Glennie. You're going to be barnstorming down the sideline, getting bitch slap in the back of your giant dome. No touch. No touch. People can hear the sound.
I'll be honest. Touch. I feel like there's already enough of those types of referees.
They'll see like a handprint on.
It's just not in our favour. like the fucking semi-final where old mate scored a fucking try from dummy half, and they gave it. Oh, let's not fucking bring it. Why you got to piss me off now?
You refs faulting about semi-finals that happened 3 weeks
that
ago.
we won.
Unbelievable.
That we
actually won too.
Yeah. Jesus. Fuck. I feel like a Manly fan.
Yeah, it sounds like a Panthers fan or something. Well, that's right. We went to word while you were playing touch. All right, now let's talk about the games that we had on the weekend quickly. Then hopefully you guys saw any of the news that we can speak about as well. I mean, I can't really think of one or two things. But into the games first. On Friday night, the Broncos 26 defeated the Storm 0. With Staggs, Walsh, Ricky, Selwyn, Cobbo scoring tries, Reynolds 4 goals and 4 conversions and a goal. Penalty goal, Storm, big fat fucking nothing. Don't you love to see it? Glennie.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Reece Walsh was again outstanding for Brisbane. I thought Reynolds was calm, measured, nothing but class and leadership. His kicking game just got the Broncos into the game, and then Walsh, just as the commentators were saying, he'd been well contained. He just had that moment, got on the outside, bit of footwork, and scored. And they're the type of plays that, on top of what Reynolds brings to the table with his calmness and his leadership and his composure, steering them around. Then you've obviously got Staggs as a strike weapon, Haas, Carrigan doing what they do, but you just have a moment or two, or sometimes it's a bunch in certain games, but in these big games it can only be sometimes it's only one or two moments from a player like Reece Walsh which can win you a final or a grand final. So I was impressed with how Brisbane just kept on it, didn't really drop the intensity level, but they were sort of aided and abetted by the fact that the Storm were pretty poor. That we assume that they just show up in these big games and tell ourselves that it's just what they do, but there's been a number of occasions this year where they have shown that maybe they're not to quite the same level of intensity week in, week out, and it's not just like flicking on a switch anymore.
But this one was weird in they weren't sort of poor in some areas. They found their way down to the Broncos to the red zone many times, enough to certainly score more than 26 points to get themselves into the game. But apart from the one they had a disallowed try, just before half time. But other than that, they looked like, especially when they were going from right to left, they looked like they'd never fucking played together. The players were fucking up their lines and their decoy runs, and passes were going behind guys, or a guy come inside, and so Harry Grant or Munster would have to sort of stop, turn around, go back the other way because it fucked up whatever they were thinking of doing. Yep. And it was like that. It's like they hadn't fucking trained together. They hadn't trained any attacking fucking shapes.
Yeah, I think the story out of this one. Look, Brisbane were okay. Brisbane were okay. They
were good. They were better than okay. They were good.
The most injury-prone halfback. And before anyone fucking ats me about that shit, please explain to me where the fuck he was for the 97 games leading up to this one. Where was he? Don't call him injury-prone. Where was he? Where was your fucking halfback? Right? Melbourne completed at 67%. That's fucking abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely fucking abysmal. Melbourne.
Particularly for a final.
12 errors, 10 penalties conceded, 2 ruck infringements, and 57 missed tackles.
Of which 53 of them were Cam Munster, aka Vanilla Schuster.
Yeah.
That fucking guy, I swear, Josh Schuster fucking looked at that and said, holy shit, that guy cannot fucking defend.
So Melbourne Storm.
I've never said Munster was a poor defender. I always thought he got in and...
But there was some of the soft arm grabbing attempts that he made that conceded tries.
Do you remember the semi they played against Penrith where it was like 6-0
no.
year before last? Right? Melbourne were as bad as you've put them up to be in this game, Nate, offensively in that semi. However, they were still this fucking defensive powerhouse that no matter how their offense was running, there were some non-negotiables for them in defense.
Yep.
And that was awesome. What do you want? 2, 3, 4 sets on our line? Fuck yeah. That's gone. There was absolutely none of that attitude in that Storm, and they know it, which is the worst bit.
Yeah. The other big moment, obviously, was Pappy. I just wonder if we get to a point in his career where he's stayed healthy for year on year and got back to his best, it's got to be one of the best comeback stories in rugby league. Like, with the concussion thing was bad enough that kept him out for as long as it did. Then he's had the knee destroying his knee, to come back, play 2.5 games, and now compound fracture of the ankle. Fuck, like tragic.
That has anyone ever, obviously Yao Yi's the big profile one because that was graphic and Channel 9 did that thing where they fucking zoomed in on it, and Ray Martin had an interview with his ankle after the game and all that shit. But has anyone come back from one? Can you think of any player that's come back from a fucking compound fracture in a lower limb? Like Munster did his finger and all of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, what they've said, from all the sounds they've made, it seems to be that they expect it to be okay. Like Yao Yi's, it was like straight away, he's fucking...
Yeah, that's it, you're done.
He'll be lucky to walk in a straight line, let alone fucking play.
Yeah.
But I mean, this one, they seem to be, the stuff that's coming out seems to be, reasonably, as upbeat as you could expect. I think they're not sort of drawing the curtain down or anything. Yeah, I mean, whether that, what actually happens though, as time passes, that's a different, different matter entirely. But no, yeah.
Interesting. Poor cunt. Like that, fucking hell. Absolutely fucking heartbreaking. Anyway, fuck Storm.
I mean, my God, it's absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, from fucking, people want to talk about biscuits and shit like that. Like, this is like the Alex McKinnon one song where you can't joke about. Well, today.
I'm sure there will come a time where you will know when that time is, Nathan, because you always do.
The problem is with me is I usually know like when it's pretty far before it's actually that time, and then do it anyway.
Why is it not okay? I need to see you shine. I need to see you shine. Like, what was that message you said in the group chat?
Are you saying you've never seen him shine?
What did I say?
That's rude.
The minute it happened.
What did I say? Remind me.
You said, "Well, I guess it's Ryan Snappenhausen now."
That's true. I did say that.
Oh fuck.
I admit it.
Just
fucking cancel culture.
This is a good opportunity though. If you're the Storm, do you save space in your cap for Pappy, or do you start talking to him saying, "Bro, it's every year"? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Is he on big money though at the moment? I don't know that he's ever.
Wasn't he on the upgrade, and that's what required them to move Nico on? And it was like a decision between the two of them.
That's it.
Oh, fuck.
Or maybe it was just because Nico got like a massive, like another 40% on top from the Sharks to get him out.
Did he play in 2020 in the grand final in 2020, or was he injured?
I don't even know who played in the grand final last year. I don't even know the two teams. Don't ask me questions about that.
I've got a feeling that year was when he got the upgrade.
Well, his last year was his first year at the Sharks, so it was
no. I'm talking about
okay,
Pappy.
Yeah, okay.
So, but would you if you're Melbourne, would you start talking to him and being like, "Dude, we've got to have a conversation"?
Is that an Allen Iverson fuckdoll?
It is. It's just about. It's fucking one of those star ones, but it's got this weird lean on it. The cunt always falls over. I'm doing that thing where you with plastic things, you bend them back, try not to snap them, and then it's fine.
Not flexible enough because he didn't do enough practice.
So, here, come here, talk about practice.
All right, anything else you want to say about that game, fellas?
Maybe Pappenhausen should do more practice.
Come on now. Too soon, man. Penrith Panthers 32 defeat the Warriors 6 at Bluebet. The Panthers tries to Taruva double. Liam Martin, Nathan Cleary, Brian Toto. Cleary 5 conversions and penalty goal, defeating the Warriors 6 try to Wade Egan and conversion to Adam Pompey.
Fucking feel for the Warriors. The fact that they had to come up against Penrith, but to have the greatest year in the recent memory of the club, again with everything that happened to them over COVID and being being displaced and all that stuff. To lose Johnson.
Is it really displaced? There's a bunch of Kiwis fucking spending time in Australia. Like, I'm sick of fucking the carry-on about, like, no one was asking to erect scaffold. Like, that's what Kiwis do. They come to Australia and don't leave. Like, oh, fuck, you saved our fucking game. You just did what every Kiwi in existence has done or wants to do. Jesus fucking Christ, get over it.
Fucking hell. Yeah, it was rough, and Penrith have just shown that, they can shed players and they can shed important players, but as a unit, they are so finely tuned and so aligned with each other and how they play that they all went up a gear together. Like they came into the end of the season looking pretty good. Obviously, there's injuries to Luai, but it's nothing that team hasn't dealt with before. And it's at times like this when, over the last couple of years, those like long stints without Cleary after he tried to murder cunts on the field, and at times, where Luai was injured or, off fucking just being random best man speech writing for somebody, it's done them a world of good, because like Cogger is not, there is nothing about him that screams elite level rugby league player on his own. But in that system,
last name,
he's a DNA. Jesus Christ!
But
every fucking morsel of his being.
But in that system, he is allowed to excel. And he was fucking great in this game. He matched Nathan's energy almost exactly. Nathan did a beautiful job playing both sides of the field. And Cogger was just exactly where he needed to be at all, where Nathan needed him to be at all times. Absolute fucking clinic put on by Cleary. The Warriors came back at them, and there's still the only thing that worries me about Penrith. There's this period, I want to say it's for maybe the 10-15 minutes after halftime, where they switch off, and they've done it a dozen times this year that I've seen. Like, it happened in that Titans game where the Titans came right back on them and put some sustained fucking effort in, and this 20-point lead they had just nearly evaporated. And if you do that in the finals, like, that's the sort of thing that the Brisbanes of the world need. Like, 2 quick tries, and all of a sudden Reece Walsh starts believing the hype about how fucking good he is. And
the 20-point lead you had almost evaporated in a game where you won by 26.
No, at one stage during the game.
Right. Gotcha.
So I think that the Titans came back to within a try.
Yeah.
At some stage, I think. But you do that against a team in the finals, and all of a sudden they've got the momentum, and it might be that you're trying all you can to get that momentum back, but they might not relinquish it. So that's the only part of their game I'd have any sort of fucking issue with. Apart from that, absolute clinic.
I think everyone
was sensational.
Expected the game to be done as a contest before it started with SJ out, and I think, unfortunately, the Warriors bought into that.
And that, well, the problem was the Warriors just didn't have an ability to score points.
Yeah.
So, it didn't take many points before the game was essentially over as a contest, and with them with no chance to pull themselves back in. So.
I'd like to remind you,
2.5 can't be done.
We fucking won that game with a large portion of it played with Tyrone Peachey at 9. So don't talk to me about fucking handicaps.
It's fucking tire on a rope sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's just shown that he's slotted into the Penrith system, just like every other fucking player.
Next man up.
Next man up.
Peach.
Which officially makes it the greatest system in the history of the world.
I find it hard to argue based on that single example.
Exactly. Well, yeah. There's multiple examples, but that one's really the exhibit A, isn't it?
And with Tyrone Peachey, they have renamed it the System of a Down.
I will say, Penrith in finals mode, it happens so seamlessly and to fans of other clubs almost effortlessly. We forget how hard it is to do. Like, these are the toughest games, and they just albeit the Warriors were, like I said, without Johnson, You know, they just went about their business. It was impressive to see.
Yeah.
All right, the second elimination final, the Roosters 13 defeated the Sharks 12 out there at Reclaim Australia Stadium. The Roosters 13 tries to Manu and Wong. Sam Walker, a conversion. Billy Smith, one conversion. And Sam Walker with the field goal. The Sharks, the 12 came through tries to Sione Katoa and the Mutt. Trindle missed. Trindle and Hines both missed with their conversion attempts. Hines with 2 penalty goals, and he also missed 2 field goals. I had 2 field goals charged down, to be more accurate. Who wants to go first on this one?
Good old ambush. What do they say?
Well, stupidest bunch of cunts to lose a final game I've seen in quite some time. Honestly, the Sharks had ample opportunities to fucking run away with this game. Brayley has got to be one of the dumbest fucking nines I've seen in quite some time. The way that motherfucker can bomb an overlap or go the complete opposite direction when there's like fucking 6-on-2 on the other side, like it's fucking mind-boggling. His ability to make decisions under pressure or like under adrenaline rush when it's on is it's non-existent. Absolute brainlet. And congratulations, Sharks. I think you got him for a few more years yet. So,
can I ask you though? I remember always being told that in situations like that, it's never one person's fault.
Oh, of course.
Well, there should be enough cunts screaming at him, go left, go left, go left, go left.
But maybe there was.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You know, mate. Yeah,
what
I
do you
don't
think? Do you think it's at that level where everyone is screaming, go left, go left, go left, and he's just ignoring it or not hearing it?
I'm pretty sure he made a similarly bad decision when the Sharks had could have put it through the hands or something when they played Manly. Probably 5-6 weeks ago.
Yep.
And they could have sent it left, and they had numbers, but instead he kicked it or something. Like I feel like it's a pattern of behaviour for him particularly, but I'm sure Sharkies fans will fucking let us know though. But look, the Roosters they hung in there after probably the dumbest fucking play. I think the worst play of Teddy's career, most embarrassing play of his career, was probably when he got jumped in Origin this year.
Yeah.
By fucking by Lindsay Collins, wasn't it? That out-jumped him and scored try.
Yes.
That's probably the most embarrassing play of his career. But this when he got fucking sin-binned in this game, it was the dumbest fucking play in his entire career. Mm-hmm. Like to be fucking on 2 knees, a meter to the fucking right of the ruck, and the guy runs his way and he just tackles him. Like it's fucking ridiculous. But then that was ultimately. I think that was the winning of the game for the Roosters. I mean, the Sharks they put on 1 try fairly quickly, but I think the way that they hung on through that period gave him a little bit of extra juice when he came back on. And ultimately, the Sharks didn't fire a shot after that.
No.
I thought the Roosters...
Can I ask your thoughts?
Yeah, sorry.
On the Keary thing. So Keary was heavily involved at the end of that game and the Roosters getting in front and ultimately winning.
Yeah.
He was obviously concussed. Like, he was tackled, his head slammed into the ground, and he was lying there rolling around doing the stiff arm. Like someone dropped a fucking Ken doll with its arms up on the ground.
The only thing I would say to that is
a fucking terrible analogy, but yes.
It was like somebody pushed Frankenstein over and he couldn't get up.
Someone
pushed your Allen Iverson doll over.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I would say to that is that he's playing this week, so he wasn't concussed.
Was he though? Like you are literally rolling around throwing fucking Steady Eddie impressions at the crowd.
Yeah, he might have had a seizure, but maybe it wasn't a concussion.
To be fair, it's Luke Keary. He was, he'll get concussed running through a banner on the way out of the fucking tunnel.
Yeah, he could sleep. He can sleep on on his pillow the wrong way and fail a Category 1 at training, which rules him out for next week. And he's playing, so obviously,
I thought
for him to pass the AHA it's like almost double as impressive.
But for the independent doctor to pull him off, he had to show Like those physical effects of whatever they fucking call it. Is that not a thing? Have I made that up?
Or maybe that's why he felt better if the independent doctor pulled him off.
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just fucking get your brain scrambled a little bit and get a free handy on. I mean, that sounds a pretty sweet deal, to be honest.
No longer concussed, thanks. No more. There is definitely no blood in my brain.
Then you've never had the cold clinical experience of being jerked off by a doctor then, so it's not enjoyable at all.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. So, I'm going to let me just live with sit with my fantasies, please.
Really? You'd like it. Someone's in the middle of it and looks you up and down and goes, remind me to check your cholesterol. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. I call that Thursday night.
I say, yeah.
Jesus, Glennie.
You just be straight back to him and say, yeah, I would like you to do it with your finger right now via my anus. Let's turn this into a fucking party. I mean, I don't know how far the Roosters can go. Yeah,
especially with the injuries.
There was a price to be paid for this game. Billy Smith again, injured this time, broken jaw. I think it wasn't it?
Oh,
fractured jaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Manu's gone, which obviously huge.
That's massive.
Swaley's
That's
gone.
the biggest one.
So,
this might be one last reminder of who the Roosters used to be, and unfortunately the Sharks with confirmation of who they are right now. That's basically summed up the game, and I don't know.
Who knew a team that couldn't beat a team in the top 8 when faced with a top 8 side in the finals, which consists of only teams from the top 8? Whoever could have put money on doing, and then you wrap it all that up and you say, despite all of that, it was still like the luckiest fucking bounce try.
Yeah,
that it got the Roosters. I mean, to tie the game up. However, I think we said this on the member side when we were talking about during the Canberra Knights game. But I loved that Sam Walker, like with 8 minutes to go, they get down there, nothing's doing, bangs over a field goal. I love someone going for it, applying scoreboard pressure, getting one ahead, and applying some scoreboard pressure. Because when it gets down to that last 2 minutes and it's set for set and they're just frantically trying to bang them out from 30, 40 metres and, everyone knows a field goal's coming and they're charging.
And they're offside as fuck.
Yeah. And look, I mean, I know the Roosters weren't offside on one of those field goal attempts, but I'm pretty sure the other one they were. But I love someone doing it when there's no pressure. Sure, there's a lot of time to go. Sure, there's time for teams to score tries. But just by adding that 1 point to the scoreline, getting in the head of the other team, and it works as almost a defensive maneuver of sorts, because you kind of you're lowering they start thinking field goal, so they start going down the middle third of the field as well, and they stop spinning it out. They're not looking for tries as much. They're trying to keep it relatively central because they need to get a field goal to tie it up again.
Yeah,
and so. You don't really see it that often. There's so many games where it's tied with 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, and teams are down there and they have plenty of chance, but they're still working for the try, working for a repeat set or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just, especially from a halfback that's, been maligned by his own side this season, by his own coach.
Can you imagine what would happen? So if teams just started potting over, if the halfback wasn't confident that they were going to score.
Let's just get something out of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Get the ball back.
That's it. Imagine what the fuck had happened. Teams would start shitting themselves. They wouldn't know what to do.
Broncos would have won 26-3.
I'd like to bring your attention to a game featuring Noel Goldthorpe.
Flown off.
I'm trying to give you a history lesson.
Okay.
A game Western Suburbs Magpies featuring Noel Goldthorpe. Early 90s. West led very early on in the game, intense clash. Led 2-0 after about 7 or 8 minutes. 2 field goals, and Goldthorpe. Pretty sure we lost the game 30-2, but your point about, it's never too early to start kicking field goals? Noel Goldthorpe, early adopter of that philosophy.
There you go. Yeah, and it wasn't his fault that they conceded so many points to lose the game 30-2.
No, it was because the team was shit. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, and he just made sure. That could have been 30-0.
Yep.
He made sure it was, people remember the games when the teams go scoreless.
Never got the credit he deserved.
Somebody who respects for and against.
He just did, Glennie. He just did. Finally. Mainstream media has finally.
I salute you.
Is there anything else we had to talk about that game? I don't think so. The Knights 30 defeated the Raiders 28 in Newcastle. The Knights 30 tries to Dominic Young with a double. Dane Gagai, Callum Ponga, and Greg Marju. Ponga 4 conversions and a penalty goal. Raiders 28 double to James Schiller. Trey Mooney, Matt Frawley, Tom Starling tries. Fogarty 4 of 5 conversions.
Big story was the bite.
The bite. And we may as well go into the news right now. Hungry Jack got 3 weeks. Which initially I thought, wow, that's kind of low for a bite. But then the previous one, who was the last one before that? Only got 4 weeks. Who the fuck was it? I can't even remember now.
Can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Because I look back when I was thinking about players suspended for biting, the last one that I could remember was James Graham in the grand final,
that's it.
2012 or whatever.
Yep.
And he got 12 for that. How many weeks did he get? He got 12.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Though.
Was that part of it?
He was like that was like a Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield sort of situation as well, wasn't it? Like sort of went for his ear, which isn't great. Let's be real. He's certainly calmed down and seems like a nice guy. He's got his little podcast and everything. Great. Back then though, holy shit,
fucking wild. Look, Tyson Gamble was a strange one. He wanted to make the on-field complaint and certainly, rightfully, kicked up a stink. He felt he'd been bitten and then refused to testify because what happens on the field stays on the field, apparently.
Proctor was the other one. I'm sorry, and that's what happens on the field stage. The thing is, you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it, mate. Like you can't. Either nothing happened, and you're staunch, or you fucking carry on like a little fucking rat, fucking snitch on the field to try and win a penalty or a sin bin or send off for your side. You've already done it at that point. You don't get to put the genie back in the bottle. You're a snitch now.
Yeah.
You're a fucking rat. Carry on with you being a rat. Go to court. Fucking go to the federales and fucking testify. You little rat. Yeah. The games are televised now. Referees are mic'd up. We all fucking saw it, mate. So, So don't have a code after you just, it's, like these players, like lying down to fucking get penalties and shit, the slightest contact, but but Tyson Gamble, mate, you're alleging that you got bit on the forearm. So what you're telling me is that your forearm in the act of making a tackle, your forearm has made contact with Jack Whiten's mouth. Where's the penalty for that? Suspension, high tackle. Clearly got him in the mouth, exactly in the mouth, as it turns out. Goes both ways, right?
Exactly.
Did you think we were talking about this on the member side? He was applying a lot of fucking pressure.
Yeah.
Like a sort of like a rear naked like a rear naked choke or something, but he didn't have it under his chin.
Yeah.
He was fucking applying and squeezing in the position where he had his arm, which happened to be across his mouth, right?
Yep.
So I still don't know. And in this day and age with people with the mouth guards and stuff, how can you get like a solid chomp? This is we need to go and get a mouth guard.
I reckon
we need to scientifically fucking test this out.
I reckon the big fuck up here is that both things can be true. Everyone's trying to pick a side, right? Did he bite or didn't he bite? Now, on the inside of your fucking arm here, the nerve endings, while you do have them, they're not super fucking sensitive.
Yeah. As
in, you would not be easily able to distinguish, my forearm is on a mouth guard now.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere on a ball or a shoulder or a head or whatever. Oh, yep, no, that's mouth guard. So he's putting just as much pressure on as he would if it was any other part of his body.
Yeah. Or he knew what he was doing around his head and was trying to just fuck him up to be a germ.
Yeah, or he was. And again, Whiten, he's trying to get up. and all he's doing is feeling some pressure on some part of his face.
Yep.
So he reacts against it. Both fucking things can be true without Whiten trying to bite him, or without this guy trying to, force a fake bite mark. I don't know what you fucking say. Overshadowed the most important part of this contest, which is how fucking pathetic Canberra are as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew, and how fucking glorious it will be to watch them fail at every turn until they finally punt Ricky Stewart out of that organisation and sage the fucking place.
I mean, in this game, they had golden opportunities to finish this one off in regulation time, and they also had the better of the first. They had the first territorial chance to do something in the extra time as well.
But there you go. There's that psychological thing again. Just like you were saying before, why would you fucking people don't go field goals unless it's the last 2 minutes. The first time they were fucking down there, why not pot one? They were in perfect position.
Yep.
But it was, no, it's not golden point.
Yeah, it's extra time, so we've got another 10 minutes or 8 minutes at this point to do it. Yeah, exactly.
So,
one of the biggest takeaways for me was the membisode that we recorded for the second half of the game. Because if you motherfuckers think that we're hilarious in these fucking run-of-the-mill fucking shows where we don't get out of third gear, you should listen to the fucking episodes. We won N gearless. We were giving it to Frawley throughout that game. N gearless. Frawley looks like long COVID all time. Absolutely fucking all time.
He was fucking. The dude's pale. And I mean, and not in that. And not in the same pale way, not the way like John Bateman come over to the Tigers with his fluorescent white legs, and that was an Englishman coming straight out of an English winter or whatever into Australia, and so that guy clearly he just needed to get some sun. But he looked pale, because he was sick, or maybe possibly a vampire.
He looked grey. Grey.
Yeah, grey.
No,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not. Man, I've seen Twilight. Those cunts twinkle.
You seen Twilight?
Yeah. There we go. I knew there was something I didn't like about you.
He looks like
things, including that.
He looks like the colour of the blankets they used to give you in the school sick bay.
This is what I'm talking about. Pay us money. Listen to this fucking gold.
Oh, they got that one for free. But look, the Knights. Talking about the game itself, though, not the incidences in the game. I mean, the Knights were absolutely rattled in that sort of last 20 minutes of the first half, and Canberra started to build up a little bit of a lead.
Yeah.
And you could see it was the wheels were coming off. The crowd was super loud at the start of the game. Knights scored fairly quickly to start off with Marshy, but man, once Canberra started taking control of that game in the latter stages of the first half, the crowd were out of it. Mistakes were coming from the Knights. They were fucking rattled. It's credit to them to come back. But then they built a good lead, 2-try lead or whatever, and proceeded to fucking drop it when it was time to ice the game. We were even talking about, they scored those 2 tries back to back pretty quickly, got out to a pretty good lead, and it was the next thing that's going to happen. The Knights, the next thing they do, it's going to finish the game, and it just never came. And Raiders back into the game, got back into it, got to extra time, almost won it in regulation. It's the most vulnerable. That they've looked for quite some time in their streak, and they really should have lost this game. It was just by the fact they were playing Canberra, who are genetically programmed not to win these sorts of situations. So it'll be interesting to see how far they get.
Jared Croker was obviously crying somewhere.
Yeah.
It's what he does. But Ponga, I thought, owned some big moments in the game, and it sort of sparked Newcastle's, resurgence back into the game and ultimately taking the lead. He just, I don't know, he just has a way when he's in that sort of mood, and then it puts the defence on the back foot and second guessing themselves. Then obviously the impact of the crowd coming into the game was massive for Newcastle. They all lifted, and at one stage there, you sort of, as Nate said, you were expecting the Knights to just really go on with it. And yeah, I don't know that the way that game finished is a great way to head into week 2 of the finals, but we'll see what they've got.
Yeah, it's not. But I think this is the first step. You've got to remember, the Knights are in the fucking infancy of any sort of longevity of success. You know, they're just starting to put a team together. They lost fucking Jacko partway through this game. So they were heavily fucking disrupted.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I probably haven't given enough weight to that as well.
You know, and I'm not saying Jacko's SJ by any stretch of the imagination. But everyone gives the Warriors a pass for getting fucking analled because it's, no SJ. And then they get disrupted in a similar way. In the game...
They're also playing not the worst finals team in the history of the fucking game as well. The Warriors.
No,
True.
No one was playing the 2005 West Tigers. But
getting real sick of this shit.
The Raiders would have beat the 2005 West Tigers.
Oh,
This year's Raiders. Jordan Rapana would have scored 5.
Oh,
5.
That's it. I've had enough of this show. I'm retiring tonight.
What was your fucking fullback's name that year? The fucking concentration camp kid? He would have fucking had nothing. But for Newcastle to stay in this game mentally and come back and finish the way they did, that's what they take out of that. Like, yeah, to normal people, this game's like, holy fuck, that was close against a shit team. But for Newcastle to be down the way they were and to hold on to that game and band together and come back, that was a good performance from them.
Yeah, but they came back and then they let it go again, and then the referee gave them a penalty to win it.
Yeah.
So they didn't actually really do, didn't do anything.
Here's the thing, though. A rugby league coach, their job is exactly the same as yours here for the other Manly cucks that listen. Just spin shit. Just fucking spin shit. Those poor cunts. It's like they've had Anthony Seibold appointed their coach every single fucking week. You imagine the stress they're after? Fuck me.
All right. So we spoke about the Jacko thing, so I don't know what news you want to talk about.
Let's do socials. Let's do fucking socials and get those.
Okay, do socials.
This week's fucking socials roundup. Oh, putting it out there as well. There's been some talk about Vegas. If anyone's going to Vegas, that's fucking great. I was talking to a couple of people in the nation that might have had an inside track on some flights and accommodation and that sort of stuff, but that's all turned to shit. So if you're going to Vegas, you're on your own. We'll see you there. There's the Vegas rant. What do we got?
The ticket's starting very affordably for that fucking thing too. It's like $19. I mean, you have to pay like $50 worth of fees at least.
Yep.
Like, you know, a good friend of ours is he paid for the top tier tickets.
Yep.
Which were $189 US per ticket. Which at the end of the day, not a huge amount of money, for like a once off, premier sort of seat in a premier stadium kind of deal.
It's fucking great.
But you take those tickets there that are about $500 Australian, 550, and the fees and shit. There's over $100 of fees per ticket.
That's it.
US applied to each, so it's fucking crazy the way they get you over there,
mate. I've seen all the fucking tickety talks now. Reagan talking about there's 116 taxes in a suit. Oh, America. Right. The tax man, they love it. Bailey, he said the three-peat is on. All the boys are firing. They're all fit. No Jerome, no worries. I support that message. Zach, Broncos should be happy. Both teams they may play are broken down. So I guess it's Panthers-Broncos final. Broncos would know a lot about broken down, seeing as they've got the most broken down halfback ever. JR.
Yeah, but as it turns out, he is the best young coach in the game. So there are benefits.
Who have we got here? Oh, Cameron, he said, Gamble has been low-key brilliant. One of those fucking annoying menaces, and he slots into that team seamlessly. There we go. Devon Head, biggest question is, how are Brisbane fans going to choose between the Broncos and the Lions? I don't get that. Can somebody explain it to me?
The Brisbane AFL side, the Brisbane Lions.
I know they exist.
They finished second on the ladder, I believe, and they're in the finals as well.
There you go. Nice. Nice. Josh, in the lead up to the Broncos Storm game, there's a lot of talk about the winning streak and the hoodoos. Pro for the Storm. If anything, that's a negative for the streak holder. I don't think so. Absolutely fucking not. It didn't turn out that way. But I would much rather go into a game with a fucking 15 to blot record at someone else's home ground than the other way around. Toto. All year, people have been saying how close the top 8 is. Come finals, and only 2 teams have put their hands up wanting to win it. Yes,
I actually think, despite the closeness of the points, it's just a matter of there's a lot of teams that have suffered some injuries and or bottomed out in form, like the Sharks did, and the Raiders progressively did as well. At the worst time.
Then a Titans fan corrected his maths and said that I would say that 4 teams showed up trying to win it, judging by the fact that 4 teams won.
Yeah, but I mean that then means that you concede that Newcastle were trying to win that game, and the Roosters were trying to win that game.
Shane,
it's arguable.
Shane said, "I'll confess, with the season Souths had, I forgot why I truly fell in love with this sport. Watched the Knights and Raiders, didn't have a dog in the fight, couldn't give a shit, nothing else on. Absolutely loved the contest. Long live rugby league." That's the fucking spirit. That's awesome. Daniel, how did Whiten not get sent, or at least binned? Do you want to go over that one? We discussed that in the members-ode.
Yeah, it was because it was an allegation, and the video ref couldn't say for sure whether something had happened or not. But an allegation had been made by Tyson Gamble, so because it was an allegation, but not, they didn't think it was certain it had been a bite. So it was on report for the allegation, but there was no action at the time because there was no certainty that it actually was a bite.
That's it. Kevin said the Broncos manifested some glorious shit this week. That tells you all you need to know about Broncos fans, that they use the word manifested in a non-ironic fashion. Penrith look like the only ones who can handle us, and for some reason we grow 2 extra legs when versing them. My hype is immeasurable. Yes. Okay. There we go. Got some
that was it?
Crystals and essential oils. Fucking hell. A lot of people asking a similar question about the bite, saying that, how can it happen? How can it happen?
Easy. You put something in your mouth and clamp down with the appropriate measure of force.
Gene, after Whiten's bite, I said, surely there's no way he plays next week. And I was right, but for slightly different circumstances. Ryan, my commiserations to Paul Glennie. Has to watch Kurt Mann play another game this year. Oh.
It's the things
John.
Things I do to bring informed and measured commentary to this podcast. I have to watch that fucking sped.
John has asked, tell me what's going on with Val Holmes and the bag in the mouth photo. We'll get to that in the news.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I'd forgotten about it until about 5 minutes ago.
Gay guy played the first half like he was still in a South jersey. As a South fan, I welcome Jack Whiten's passion, but not his hunger. Ricky, Broncos deliberately winning against the team they deliberately lost to, just so they don't play Penrith in the prelims.
Reynolds is a master tactician.
That's it.
Absolute scholar of the game.
Fuck yeah. Righto, on to the news. Let's go. Segue.
Look, I want to talk about... Yeah, okay, so Valentine Holmes on his Instagram stories a couple of days ago broke rule number 2 and took a photo of himself with a bag of a white powder that I cannot be certain, but I'm pretty sure was about 1 gram of cocaine. And his eyes looked like eyes that I've seen.
His eyes looked like the bag had about 0.5 gram of cocaine.
Yeah. Exactly. I've seen people with those eyes before, and I know that they really enjoyed the smell of cocaine.
He's got
prior to their eyes looking
special
that way.
cases eyes.
let's not go casting stones, shall we?
Well, no, he was the one that sent him all the tributes, so I thought I'd return the favour.
Well, that is kind of funny, isn't it? Inappropriate. The NRL have issued him with a breach notice. They investigated his white powder photograph, and they've decided that they interviewed him on Monday via video link up. He said that he didn't use cocaine or any other illicit substance, and he maintained that the image was a prank gone wrong. But this is the thing. If there's no cops there or anyone at the time and they don't have the bag recovered, they can't say for a certainty
No, they can't.
what it was. They can't. They can't, you know.
Can they not get someone there to fucking, hey, piss in a cup within the next day?
Yeah, well, that's the thing you could do. I mean, you think that even if it wasn't something that was actionable, you'd think the club would be like, listen, for us, we've got to sort of go on the front foot as well, and we're going to have to vouch for you, and we're going to have to fucking, run our PR for you as well. So just for our internal, curiosity to be satisfied, let us know what we're dealing with here,
Yeah.
Surely
here's the thing, though. With all the drug testing and screening and all of the stuff that's going on, let's say you got an anonymous tip-off, right? That fucking player A was in the gym, injecting shit into their balls, fucking pumping up.
Right.
That would be grounds for whatever to go and investigate, correct?
Yeah.
How is that not grounds?
Well, that's performance enhancing. You're talking about performance enhancing substance to start with.
No, just a banned substance.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it is though. But also with sports that are beholden to places like WADA and USADA and things like that. For example, like the UFC is another one. They've got there's a window called out of competition testing.
Yeah.
And while they can hit you with banned substance testing in terms of performance enhancing drugs in the out of competition period, what they can't do is they can't hit you for recreational shit.
Yeah, wow.
So and this is what saved Val as well, because the Cowboys are out of the running. He's on annual leave at the moment. So by the CBA that they have for rugby league, you can't be tested either. So it's kind of a window where it's like a diplomatic immunity, provided you don't take a fucking photo and put it on your Instagram reels.
Yeah, fuck. What a dummy.
So the NRL released a statement this afternoon, just before we recorded the show, and they said that they issued the North Queensland Cowboys player Valentine Holmes with a breach notice alleging a breach of the NRL Code of Conduct following an NRL Integrity Unit investigation into a social media post published on Sunday, 10th of September 2023. It is alleged Holmes engaged in conduct which has brought the game and his club into disrepute by publicly associating the game with illegal drugs. He has 5 business days to respond to the breach notice. And in accordance with the new collective bargaining agreement with the RLPA, no information or any proposed sanction will be disclosed until the player has had the opportunity to respond to the alleged breach and the matter finalised. So this is kind of like a good way for, I think, the NRL to go about it, because they don't have, the burden of proof is not that it was definitely cocaine. The burden of proof is just to say you brought the game to disrepute because all the media is talking about is, and the public is...
Well, for pretending it's cocaine. What did you say? You pretended you had cocaine. Awesome. We're going to get you for what you said you did. So you've already admitted to it.
And you've associated with the game with an illegal substance.
That's it.
So, yeah, which is not bad. What else do we want to talk about here in terms of the news? You got any news you want to talk about, Glennie?
Oh, the fucking bullshit going on with Latrell at the moment, and how there's some fucking shock jock on one of the AM stations that
it was Ben Fordham
has a hard on for him.
Yeah.
Gets the fucking scoop that Latrell's essentially murdering children because he didn't sign an autograph when he was at a clinic.
And it was like a autograph after signing countless autographs as well. Yeah.
Wow.
It's...
Yeah, they're going hard after the bunnies and Latrell in particular, aren't they?
But the way that they presented this shit, it was really like it was the crime of the century.
Yeah.
Like, it was like he'd actually done something fucking proper fucked. Honestly, it got more vehement coverage than fucking Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, it did. But here's the unfortunate thing. Everyone's looking at this one, I think, from the wrong angle. because all of the shit I've seen, and I've seen all of the standard stuff come out where, oh, why do they do this to him? Why do they? It's even worse than that. They're not actually doing it to him. They're doing it to get clicks. And because he is, an Indigenous player, and race is fucking polarising for some reason in this country, there are people who think that, less of him or more of him or whatever you want to say because of that. Spoilers, only one of those opinions is okay to have. Because race is polarising and it generates clicks, he's going to get this shit written about him. It's fucking sad, and the only way that'll stop it is people stop clicking on it.
Yep.
I don't think there's much more I want to say on.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I hope he comes out next year and kills it.
Yeah, related to that to that story, he also had the fucking descendant of Clive Churchill coming out in an opinion piece in a paper where he called Latrell, an embarrassment to the fullback jersey and lazy and a cancer on the club, meaning Souths, saying shit like that. And this is the guy that's supposed to, hand out the fucking Clive Churchill medal on grand final day.
Says the bloke that spent his whole life dining out on his father's fucking success.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here.
Father or grandfather?
Exactly.
Father,
yeah.
It's even worse. Or is it his father or his grandfather?
Father, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, even still.
Just
fuck else have you done?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the silver lining is it looks like that that guy will not be presenting the Clive Churchill medal this year, and instead they've actually picked an Indigenous player to do it. The great man, fucking Cliffy Lyons. Cliffy Lyons will be presenting it.
Wouldn't that be fucking great though? Can you imagine that if Latrell just chirped back at him and said, "Mate, I'm closer to who your dad was than you are, son."
It would be worth Souths winning a premiership.
Yeah.
To see it happen.
Yeah.
But I'm all for fucking people to perpetuate their feuds on the fucking dais after a game.
But for no fucking reason.
Yeah, fucking what? Yeah.
As old as I'm getting now, more and more I see this shit. The thing that I wonder is how much of the world is actually serious. How many of these dumb cunts actually sit there behind their fucking keyboard and actually believe what they say? Like, does he sit there and actually believe that he has some position of authority to speak on? Because his dad was good ages ago, and that gives him the right.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's society today. It's like,
do you think Jackson, is going to face some repercussions in the Toowoomba media and be stripped of the privilege of handing out the Big Diesel Award on grand final day for Toowoomba Touch? Do you think that's in his future?
And here's the fucking thing, right? The three of us sit
Are they
here
going to make that award
every week,
Well, yeah,
and
I just did.
Do exactly what fucking Junior Churchy do, except we understand how fucking ridiculous that premise is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We understand full well that we are just fucking nincompoops.
We're just saying shit I'm just saying shit to make Glennie laugh.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
the only reason I get on this fucking call.
I wish you'd be better at it, because quite frankly, it just makes me angry.
Sorry, I mean, I just come on here to just fucking kick the shit out of Glennie.
Almost
myself
exclusively,
feel better.
everything you say makes me angry.
Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should get Jackson to write Latrell Mitchell a letter and be like, here's all the reasons you're not as good as my dad either. Do you have a cool nickname like the Big Diesel?
Well, he does.
How many fucking C-grade Toowoomba touch football premierships does fucking Latrell have, though?
Same as me, I would think.
Yeah. Same as all of us, Glennie.
Yeah.
Same as all of us.
Anyway, the biggest travesty is that they what a slippery slope. You go from Churchill to a descendant of Churchill to fucking Cliff Lyons. Like, it's a cavern. Have they got no one more worthy?
How dare you? That's
Is he handing out
racist.
the Benson and Hedges medal?
Look, he also won premierships in football as well as smoking cigars at halftime of football games. All right? He's still playing today. What's fucking Clive Churchill doing? Fucking growing worm farms.
Parked up.
Reducing
Parked
CO2.
up. So, listen.
Fucking hell. We're going to get a letter from fucking Churchy Jr. How dare you?
Good.
You're a disgrace to dead people.
How dare you? It's all right, mate. Your dad's as ashamed of us as he is of you.
Yeah, and look, I'm on the record that South should never be let back in after they were kicked out, and they should be kicked out again. So, look, I think you're going to have a bigger problem with me than you are with Latrell. And if I can just do my part and take a little bit of the heat off Latrell and focus you back on whatever the fuck you do in your life other than leech off your fucking old man's name,
this show's
then I'm happy.
This show, people put up with 10 minutes of fucking Big D's chat. They're really going to struggle when it becomes an hour and a half each week of us with a fucking Ouija board trying to fucking contact old Clivey to spill the beans on how long Junior wet his bed for when he was a kid.
So good.
Right, game's coming up, eh? Let's go. We have on... First one up is the second semi-final, which takes place on Friday night. The Melbourne Storm versus the Sydney Roosters. The Storm side, young Tonumapea's out, Xavier Coates is out, and Pappenhausen, of course, out. In comes Justin Olam, Remus Smith, and Alec McDonald. The Roosters side, okay, so out is Billy Smith, Joey Manu, Suali'i. In comes Momirovski, the great fucking fill-in journeyman for hire.
Oh.
Back for one more fucking dance. Corey Allen and Jackson Polo. Egan Butcher will go to the bench. Fletcher Baker moves to the front row to start. Loser eliminated. Winner faces Penrith. Who you got?
I find it hard to go past the Storm. We've seen this year when they've had performances much like they had last week against Brisbane that their whole mantra for the week leading up to the next game is on getting back to their best and being more focused on playing their game. And I think if they do that, then the Roosters don't really have... Even if the Roosters had a full strength side, I still think they'd struggle to deal with Melbourne in a mood like that. Given some of the outs, I think the Roosters might be in for a tough night.
I can't discount the Storm. And again, I want to cast your mind back to 2021. That was the year that everything was up here. And at the tail end of that season, Penrith were not expected to go back to another grand final. They were absolutely fucking busted. They'd lost Nathan. They were playing like dog shit. And Melbourne were flying fucking high. And they came in and absolutely stunned everybody on their run through. And Melbourne are a team that can do that. Especially after the fucking hiding they copped. This will be a training run for them, given the injuries the Roosters have got. And it makes them even more dangerous the next week.
Yeah, look, I think Tedesco will lift. He's certainly got he's back half of the season after fairly embarrassing Origin period has been pretty good. He's he's built the whole time, and while I wouldn't say he's his best, he's certainly far from what he was then. Victor Radley they've actually transferred him into a real player. Like I don't know if it's whether he's sort of matured or they've just given him a simplified task. Like there doesn't seem to be any real requirement for him to ball play, and he's just kind of plays more direct. But he's on his part, he's kind of got the bullshit out of his game. Brandon Smith finally get him into finals, and he starts playing like the Brandon Smith they thought they were getting when they signed him from the Storm. But that being said, it's not enough. I don't think.
Not at all.
And the Storm would, the video session from that Broncos game would have been some of the fucking cringe, like to be a fly on the wall in that room.
That's it.
It would have been pretty fucking bad,
Yeah.
I would imagine. And I think, and like someone like Munster as well, like he was fucking terrible. And so even if he alone takes it personally and, you know, lifts his game to where it should be, that's probably enough.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to get their left side moving and actually score some fucking points.
Yep.
Because that was the biggest problem. They had their chances in the Broncos game, but they just couldn't score points and they looked disorganised. And you know, can they fix that in 1 week? Was it because they were trying to shoehorn Pappy back in when they've had Meaney running back there all season? I don't know, but you know, swapping the centres around and stuff like that, you know, it's not ideal. But I mean, Olam's been there before, so we'll see if he's fully washed. I think you have to go to Storm though. The Warriors take on the Knights. Over in New Zealand, the Warriors, Freddie Lussick is out. Sean Johnson comes back in. Dylan Walker moves back to the bench from 5'8". Tamari Martin moves from halfback to 5'8". The Knights, Hastings out. Lachlan Fitzgibbon out, which is a big loss. Clune comes in for Hastings, did the job the other week. And Dylan Lucas comes into the second row. Warriors, at home. Finals for the first time in a while. Johnson back in the side.
Yeah.
Is it enough?
I think this will be
something to prove.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. Obviously, the Warriors back in New Zealand after sacrificing so much. Fucking blah, blah, fucking blah.
You know, most like Kiwis, their skin's just light brown, Glenny. Like it's light, really light.
Well, you got to make everything about race. It's not, you know, I don't discriminate.
You weren't here, Jay. You weren't here, fucking, you know, a decade ago when he was drooling over fucking Sonny Bill Williams oiled up.
Those are the days.
Tied to a chair. Remember those days?
Those are the days. Jeez, I got labelled. Wow.
Yeah, we used to. Well, this is the thing. I mean, you used to be talking. You know, now it's C grade Toowoomba touch football. Back in the day, it was about sexual fantasies about an oiled up Sonny Bill Williams. So
it's not how I remember it, Nathan.
So you can't. You can't come out today and say that Glennie doesn't love a bit of fucking salted caramel, all right?
As impressive as the Knights have been on their streak, the back end of the season, I think this crowd, much like Newcastle themselves experienced just last week against the Raiders in finals week 1, I think this crowd in New Zealand is going to be something fucking else. And I think that is a massive add for the Warriors coming off the disappointment of last week. They've got everything to play for, obviously being sudden death now, and a massive crowd and very boisterous crowd, as you know, Kiwi crowds tend to be. You know, we've all been down to Hope Solo or even Suncorp when, you know, even in the test matches.
Remember that test match we went to?
Yeah,
that was with you, wasn't it? Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
We may as well have been at fucking in New Zealand.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Just people just like clapping like the steel legs of scaffold together to make like really intimidating noises. It's very impressive stuff. I'm going to go the Warriors.
I'm going the Warriors as well.
Yep, it's 3.
I want the Warriors to win. I feel like because the winner of this game goes on to face Brisbane, and I think that's an entertaining game to look forward to as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think the Warriors can do it. I mean, I've maintained through this night streak that they've got this fantastic baseline of quality, but they don't have the extra gear they need. They showed last week that they did not have they didn't need the extra gear. They barely, I mean, like they were playing a terrible fucking Canberra side and they scraped through.
Yeah.
They didn't need an extra gear. They just needed to play to their potential for 80 minutes and they didn't, and it nearly cost them their chance in the finals.
You know, again, then you look at what I don't understand about that Newcastle side is there's some stuff they do really fucking well. And you look at the teams that ended up being successful over the last couple of years. That South Sydney side, when they went all the way to the grand final, and then the years after that, very close again, they went left better than any other side in the competition, and they did it over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yep.
And when Newcastle really started fucking hammering Canberra down the right-hand side of the field with Dom Young, just murdering people.
Yep.
They were just, tries as often as they wanted them, but they stopped.
Yeah.
So, who knows what the game plan will be.
Yep. Well, see, I don't think they lose anything with Hastings out. I mean, just based on the evidence of like a fortnight ago, like Clune, it was like he wasn't out. Clune did such a good job for the side. He wasn't the loss. Fitzgibbon, though, I mean, he can be a bit of a loss. I think he's been super strong for them, even, not just this year. But, I think Sean Johnson, the crowd alone, the crowd might have got him home last week. The crowd will get the Warriors home this week. Is Dave Dobbin playing at halftime?
If not, he should be.
It's a missed opportunity if they don't have him there, being the only musician from New Zealand ever in history. They had Scribe as well. I forgot. Scribe's doing the pre-match entertainment. Dave Dobbin coming on to Slice of Heaven at half time.
Isn't he still in jail?
The big name. He's headlining. Dave Dobbin has to headline.
No. Scribe's doing half time. Dave Dobbin has to do Slice of Heaven before the game because that's the national anthem.
Yeah.
That is fair. So
he'll do the national anthem, Slice of Heaven, live.
Like, when the Broncos play, they don't sing the Queensland state anthem. Why would they do that for the fucking saddest state of Australia?
Well,
I don't know.
I thought I was being offensive with the scaffold jokes.
There was a guy on Instagram a little while ago who and he was talking to New Zealand politicians, saying that there's something in the Australian Constitution that allows them to make laws for New Zealand, and there's nothing New Zealand can do about it. And all of these New Zealand politicians were getting really fucking like as if it was a real thing.
Because they're Kiwis and they're dumb.
Like he literally said, so what do you think about the new laws that Australia's passed that allow them to just govern New Zealand as if it was another state? There's nothing legally you can do about it. And he's right, there's nothing they could do about any laws that we pass. Doesn't mean we can enforce them. But they all got really fucking triggered and like visibly worried. Like we're asking this. That was champagne.
There's something else I was going to talk about, but I fucking forgot entirely now. So let's just we just won't talk about it. Is there anything else that you fellas want to add? Oh, there were meetups. People that aren't on Facebook.
People that are not on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, and let's face it, healthy, fucking well-adjusted people.
The best ones.
Yeah. Now, grand final meetups, ahoy. This year, for the first time ever, we'll be also doing a Brisbane one. So, Queensland people who are always like, oh, get down some year. Now you got your chance to show up. And, if enough people show up, then maybe it'll happen next year. Yeah, who knows? It could be a thing going forward. It's up to you to make it a thing. Venue TBA, I've got some RSVPs in there, but for the people on Facebook, need you to go to thisweekinleague.com, click on links, and then you'll see the list of links there. I think I pinned it at the top. Just got a little expression of interest for the Brisbane Grand Final meetup. If you're in Brisbane and you want to come down, this is obviously not legally binding or anything, but I'm just trying to get an idea of the venue and the amount of sort of, the size of the area we'll need and everything. So if you could just kindly fill out that form, which is just your name and your email address and the number of people you anticipate on bringing, do that and let us know, and then that way I'll have an idea. And also I'll have your email address, so I can, rather than spamming things, I can when it's decided, I can contact you all directly with what's happening there. Sydney, same place as last year. Bar Cleveland, midday on grand final day.
Fuck yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Patrons, keep an eye out for a special invitation. Typically, we would do something the night before, but a very fucking dear member of TWiL Nation is actually celebrating his nuptials that day. So Glennie and I will be popping along to that. But patrons, members, anyone else of that ilk, keep your eyes out for a special patrons members only event preceding the grand final meetup. Just as
it'll be about 10 a.m. on the grand final day, venue TBA.
That's it. So for anyone that's new, anyone that's listening, hasn't got on the socials, hasn't been around last year, grand final day meetups. The members and patrons ones, they're exclusive and they're essentially invitation only. So they're for anyone who subscribes to our Patreon to get the additional exclusive content there. The grand final day meetup is absolutely fucking free, and we encourage anyone and everyone to come along. It is a fucking great day. You get to put faces to names. I have not been to a meetup yet where there weren't some fucking great, like, in real life friendship started as well. So it's a good way to get out from behind your fucking keyboards and engage with people like a normal person, because we all know that being important on the internet doesn't matter. So everyone get along, drop in for 10 minutes and say g'day and have a drink. Stay the whole day, whatever. Bring fucking friends, family. Some people have brought children before. We don't necessarily encourage that. But yeah, if you are around in Sydney, we would love to say g'day. Fucking clink a glass with you.
Yep.
And talk about why the Panthers are the greatest rugby league team in history.
And and you won't be forced to do that at all if you come to the Brisbane one. But we may discuss the wonderful brand of. Well, mate, feel welcome, and I do know that that someone that will be coming also along to the Brisbane one will be our good mate Michael from Strive. So
dodging.
Isn't he a Broncos fan?
Dodging.
He is. Lacks confidence. There's a lot of Broncos fans hedging, like, I would come, but I might be going to the thing.
So the only fucking year in their Parramatta-esque window.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to see him. Fucking hell.
I don't know if he was down. I don't know if he was there in 2015. 2016 was the year we almost fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Ignore that. People don't almost get killed at meetups. What am I talking about?
No, we didn't do it. The person that fucking mugged him drunk on a bench did it.
Yeah, but I feel like I contributed greatly to the amount of alcohol he consumed.
Did the guy that put fuel in Ed Senna's car feel responsible for his death?
Probably not. No.
Did the guy
Did the
guy who built the wall shed a tear? I'm sure he did, but he didn't hold himself responsible. Fucking hell. Well, I'll tell you what you'll be doing at the Brisbane meetup is discussing whether Daly Cherry Evans will become the most capped player ever in a Prime Minister's 11 squad, aka the team of fucking loser cunt teams that aren't playing finals, so they're available to play in this absolute fucking monstrosity.
I tell you, fucking Albo's cooked too.
The answer is yes.
You see some of the selections.
Did you see who we made captain?
South
player.
Was it Cam Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah, they always do their whatever their faves are did he select like Sloan?
Hang on.
I think I know Zach Lomax is in
Tyrrell
there.
Sloan, Zach Lomax is in there.
Tyrrell Sloan is fucking terrible.
Hudson Young's in there.
The fact that but Tyrrell Sloan, how he's selected for anything other than the fucking scrap heap, I'll never understand.
Fucking
Come on,
hell.
Albo. You cooked, Albo.
Jesus, that whole fucking team's cooked.
But,
Jesus.
Ceremonial.
So hang on, he's got one.
Who else is in it? I mean, I just saw people complaining about Sloan.
Ben Hunt's in it. Nico Hines. So he's got 3 sevens.
Who's playing hooker?
One of the sevens.
Ben Hunt, probably.
it's positionless at this stage.
Yeah, right.
The Hammer's got to start. Fuck yeah. There you go. Oh, Cody. So Cody Walker's the 6. So none of the 7s can play 6.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking
maybe
hell,
I'll put Nico in. Maybe Nico in the centres to fucking try and redeem himself. Now, one thing we didn't talk about. Did you firstly, did you see the AFL Grand Final entertainment?
Kiss.
Right. Pretty big fucking name. I mean, obviously, coming to the end.
In the 70s.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well, you know, they were probably one of the bigger touring bands all the way through, probably to the, you know, the first decade of the 2000s. The NRL have announced their very special Grand Final entertainment, and it is a special...
Please be Canning Crows.
No, the fucking singer Canning Crows died last week. You were fucking...
Jesus, Glenn. Show some fucking respect.
Too soon, Glenn. From Mr. Jones and me. Now, the NRL has announced their very special Grand Final performance.
Hey now, you're a
from
fuckwit.
the Tina Turner musical. Will headline on Grand Final Day. So, marking 30 years since Tina Turner's iconic performance at the 1993 Grand Final and celebrating her unique association with the game, the cast of the smash hit musical is bringing Tina Turner's music back to the rugby league's biggest stage, featuring iconic songs, including Simply the Best, Nutbush, and Proud Mary. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, tells the story of Tina Turner's life and received 37 prestigious award nominations, including Best Musical at Tony Awards, Best New Musical at the Olivier Awards, and is currently playing at the Theatre Royal in Sydney.
It's not winning any awards for best selection of NRL Grand Final entertainment.
So it's like if they had if Tina Turner wasn't dead, and they said it's 30-year anniversary, so we'll do Tina Turner, I go, yeah, cool, okay, I get it. There's rationale there, but no, we're gonna have Tina Turner covers sung by a Tina Turner cover band. Yeah. So
fucking hell. Oh. That is
never quite. We never. I mean, obviously, everyone can't be happy with every musical act selection. You know, obviously, there's differing tastes, and you got to go to the lowest common denominator. But NRL does struggle to get it right. I feel consistently.
Yeah,
in that theme though.
I mean, because even we had remember the Cronulla year they had Richie Sambora doing like Bon Jovi covers.
Yeah,
like. I mean, you're in the band, but you're not the guy who sings or is named
as the name. Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
So, what do you feel like I'm disrespecting Richie Sambora?
No, just that there's a long line of shitty entertainment choices.
Yeah.
Like decades of them.
And yet, Counting Crows haven't got a fucking start.
I don't know why it happened. Again, why are you the way you are?
Oh, you made me this way, Glennie.
I didn't make you do shit.
I wouldn't have had a single thought about Counting Crows in my entire life until I met you. This is you. You did this.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Do you know how many times, like how often, people closest to me say, you bring this upon yourself about shit that I most certainly do not bring upon myself?
I think I think your friends and family are pretty on the money.
And with that, I think that's the end of the show.
There we go.
Thisweekinleague.com. Click on the links menu and you get all the links to our socials, Patreon, and more. The patron gifts just went out. They've just started landing today. I got a text from someone saying how great the footies were. Oh, also in regards to the footies, thisweekinleague.com, go to the shop. You can get yourself footy. I can tell you now that there is exactly, as of today, 15 of the big footies left.
Oh, so yeah.
Once they're gone, they're gone. And then we've got mini footies as well in there as well. And there's more than 15 of those left. But,
which are fucking perfect for office shenanigans. Yep.
I plan on having them in the swimming pool as well for the upcoming summer. I won't peg them around. So get those quickly. Once they're gone, they are gone for good, never to return. 15 of the big ones left. So make sure you get in while getting these good. Don't forget to RSVP for the Brisbane Grand Final meetup, so we can get an idea of numbers and select the most adequate venue for the event. And Sydney, no need to RSVP. We've been doing it for a decade, and there's a built-in fucking solid core of people that'll turn up to that one no matter what. So
we fucking love you guys.
Yep, and so we look forward to all of that. Who would have thought? Who could have said that we wouldn't be doing meetups this year? Motherfucker, we're doing all the meetups this year. And you'll fucking learn, bitch. That's it. See you next week.
Later.
See ya.